Hello. You're listening to Gladiodrome, the #1 news commentary podcast recorded by people who don't really watch the news and uploaded several days late. Now, before we get started, I need to get the somber part out of the way. I need to address and take accountability for something that I said during the previous episode. So, as all of you are aware, episodes of Gladiodrome come out the day after recording on Spotify and Apple Music. But due to the render time requirements to make the mouths on the balls move, the YouTube version comes out 3 to 4 days later, thereby making the entire purpose of the show, ostensibly being a news commentary podcast, kind of pointless, but oh well, that's fine. It does have a tendency to result in the audience having had time to determine the correct analysis of events that we're shooting from the hip about. So, in the most recent episode, I am just going to come clean and, acknowledge this. I made an incorrect comment about the tragic, but then, at that time, still extremely recent murder of 165 school children in a triple-tap drone strike. I didn't do my due diligence on the narrative that I'd been seeing emerging, on social media at the time, which basically was a deceptive sort of Hasbara op that used footage of a different time recently that Iran had fired a missile that basically just launched, turned around, flew straight back at him, and impacted the location from which it was launched. All right? So, yes. They zogged my For You page. They just like they did yours. Unfortunately, because this narrative got initially picked up by a couple of outlets that I, up until at that point, had viewed as largely accurate, they got my ass fair and square. Now, just because this incorrect statement was immediately pointed out and corrected by the antagonist, on air, it doesn't mean that it's in any way okay for me to have confused the Iranian IRGC base that was impacted by their own missile in the video with the Iranian IRGC base that the school was part of. Now, while it is true that I should have immediately suspected nefarious Israeli meddling the second I saw a bunch of stuff about something basically being Iran's fault, what's actually important here is that this is the single biggest mass murder of children to take place in the Middle East so far this year. This was the senseless, violent death of 165 school children under the age of 12. It is an atrocity. It is a sin. This never should have been allowed to happen. Now, that statement right there was written back on Thursday, when I, along with many others, were still kind of under the impression that it was most likely an Israeli airstrike that resulted in the senseless deaths of 165 innocent children, primarily due to the speed and cohesion with which their Hasbara team sprung into action to reshape the narrative. However, today, U.S. investigations recently concluded that the party responsible for the airstrike was not, in fact, the IDF, an organization for whom the callous mass murder of innocent civilians, via airstrike, is kind of standard operating procedure. But rather, it was carried out by the United States. And with that context, it really does change a lot. The buck has to stop somewhere. I have the following things to say about the U.S.'s role in this slaughter. Beast mode! Beast mode! Beast mode! Get fucked! Get fucked! We blew their little asses straight to fucking hell! Get fucked! Oh, what did those 165 children do? Nothing! We blew them up anyways! We blew up 165 children! Don't like it? Yeah, that's the point, retard! You weren't supposed to like it! Get fucked! Beast mode! Okay, hopefully that should get everyone to stop yelling at me about the last episode.
Now, when you said that we would know when your script had ended, your intro.
Yeah, that's it.